Kingpin Hustlers is the website. You want t-shirts and hoodies? I thought you might. Forget the mall, I have it all here. I got all kind of colors to match your gear. Cream team, about to get that bread. Get rich and die trying, like 50 said. The money bag, make it look real fly. Get it at the website, we on Shopify. We even got a game, a hustler's dream. When you go around the board, you collect your cream. This cash money got me stunting like baby. You can play against your boys or against your lady. Hip-hop hustlers is the name of the novel. Street Kingpins a thug life, hip-hop Bible. Street Kingpins is here, and we ain't leaving. No need to waste your time, even compete. StreetKingpinHustlers.com. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coming soon, novels and games. Street Kingpins, we about that money bag. Get it, get it, get it. Welcome to Street Kingpin Stories. This show is about Maurice, Peanut King, a Baltimore street kingpin legend. Peanut King was the youngest of 5 children, and his mother and father separated, so he was raised in a single-parent home. Peanut King was born into this life. His father was a criminal who broke laws in several states. At the age between 7 and 16, he had over 20 situations with the 12. At 17, in 1971, he earned his first adult conviction. He came home in 1974. At the age of 20, he got into the drug gang. You see, another known street kingpin, Frank Matthews, was arrested for tax evasion and drug charges, but he decided to disappear and become a fugitive rather than spend the rest of his life in a prison. Because of that, a void was created, and Peanut King stepped up to fill that void. He put together a vicious team with Thomas Joe Dancer Ricks as his trusted enforcer. And at that time, most dealers in Baltimore had a 3% pure heroin. Peanut had a 8 to 10% pure heroin. He became the plug. Other dealers would get their product from him. Baltimore, Murderland became infested with crime and addiction. His most lucrative area was on Hallbrook and Huffman. He was making $25 million a year. He played the game the way it was meant to be played, citywide and on multiple levels. He also was a gambler who often went to Atlantic City and won millions. As a king of Baltimore, he was feared and respected. He ran the city with its inhabitants at his beck and call. He drove a DeLorean. It was the only DeLorean ever drove on the Harm City streets. Peanut King bought a huge house in Silver Spring, Maryland, with surveillance cameras of all angles. He knew his name was ringing on the streets. He wasn't going to get caught slipping. He was one of the first drug dealers to try to go legit by investing in businesses in the community. He kept the whole city eating, and people loved him and worshipped the ground he walked on. He was looked up to and admired. He'd go to clubs, stepping out of limos, wearing $40,000 flawless diamond pinky rings. He bought clubs, clothing stores, bail bonds, grocery stores, and delis. He owned a good chunk of Baltimore. Peanut King brought mopeds for all of the young workers. The mopeds gave the hoppers mobility and speed in transporting dope from the stash spots to customers. He paid the kids $500 a week. Later, it became a requirement for anyone driving a moped to have a valid driver's license. That took a lot of kids off their bikes. Peanut King also was instrumental in the youth basketball leagues, as well as sponsoring teams and tournaments, which led to the development of players like Sam Cassell, Muggsy Bogues, Carmelo Anthony, and Rudy Gay, who all made it to the NBA. Peanut's crew would go to Odell's, the baddest club on the strip. All the hustlers, players, ballers, and dime pieces would show up on North Avenue between St. Paul and Charles Street. The lines would go around the block with people wearing their furs, leather, and jewels. Peanut King was well protected. He always had 3 or 4 enforcers with him. Peanut showed love. He had big Christmas dinners in Lafayette. U-Haul trucks would pull up and give presents for all the kids. He took care of the ghetto. He was a man of many talents. He had the foresight to see a problem before it happens. He had a team of lawyers that made a lot of cases go away. The lawyers laundered his money and made all of his business dealings look legit. But all things, at some point, comes to an end. In 1983, Maurice King and Thomas Ricks were both charged with an 848, conducting a continual criminal enterprise, also known as the Kingpin charge. Both men were found guilty by the U.S. District Court of Maryland. Peanut King, at the time, was only 28 years old. He was sentenced to 50 years. He ended up serving 37 years in prison and was released in 2019. Since then, he's dedicated his life to rebuilding communities all across the nation and deterring people from following in his footsteps. Maurice Peanut King is a street kingpin legend, so put some respect on his name. I was born in New York, but I was raised in B-More. His name still rings from when I was a kid until now. He's one of the best to ever do it. Street Kingpins doesn't condone drug dealing, crime, or violence. This lifestyle usually ends with prison or death. You can love the streets, just remember, the streets don't love you back. Like, subscribe, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thanks for watching. Peace.